harmonizing cream for her. The only reason that it's why her is put on this is because women have suffered for decades, for centuries, I would say, because of their hormones. And we need to come back and we need to empower women and let them realize the importance of their cycle. And no matter whether it's a small problem or a big problem, get rid of the small problem and we won't have the big problems. That's basically it. If you address something the minute you recognize there's a problem, or better still, before you have a problem, if you look after your health, you won't get the problems. Anyway, the reason I'm talking here right now is because this cream is equally important for men as for women. Because men's hormones are now coming to the surface more and more. And they are coming through because men are suffering more and more from hormonal imbalance. And that's because the food they're eating is grown from petrochemicals, and what they put on their skin and what they smell, their aftershave or whatever, it's environmental toxins in the home, in their environment, that is creating this. So we have to address the environmental toxins, and in doing that, we can add the harmonizing cream twice a day and help men and help women, of course, but help men, because men have been suffering in silence. And I say in silence is because men are told, oh, hormones are for women, and no, don't think you have hormones. Men don't have hormones at all. No, don't worry about it. Women have hormones because their mood swings and their illnesses and their everything else. But the thing about it is, men also have hormones. They have estrogen, they have progesterone, and they have testosterone. The same as women. Women have estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Now, a man has more testosterone, a woman has very little testosterone. A woman has more estrogen, a man has less estrogen. But both men and women need progesterone, lots of progesterone. And we only get progesterone from eating healthy, proper, clean, basic, nourishing foods and getting rid of the toxins in the home, environmental toxins in the home. There's a very good book out there by Chris Willems. It's called Estrogen. Chris Willems is a cancer researcher, and it's called Estrogen, the Silent Killer in Our Midst. These xenoestrogens are, well, I suppose, another name that we're getting, that's coming into our vocabulary is forever chemicals. And they're all made from petrochemicals and all that stuff, all that rubbish that's been sold, because the supermarkets are only out there because the chemical industry feeds the supermarkets. The supermarkets feed the public through the advertising, powerful advertising. So we need to get rid of all that hype. We need to shop online, and we just need to source our food, make sure that we know the owner or the manufacturer of whatever we buy, so that we're guaranteed good health. Anyway, we'll get back to this. As far as men's hormones are concerned, there are two issues that men are suffering in relation to their reproductive system. And one is prostate cancer, and the other one is erectile dysfunction. Now this here is a diagram of, this is here, the bladder is up here, urine, yeah, and the urine passes down, and it passes through this gland here. It is a gland, and that's called the prostate gland. So when these foreign bodies and these petrochemicals or xenoestrogens or whatever you want to call them, when they are in the blood, the blood has to try and dump them somewhere. And because they are a mimic to the hormones of the body, they go to the places like the prostate gland in a man. And as they do, the gland begins to grow. And as the gland grows, it puts pressure on the urethra, making it more narrow. And when it's narrow, after a while, frequency, the man might say, oh my God, then he pass a little bit of urine, and then an hour later he wants to go and he wants to pass another bit of urine. And if this is allowed to continue, that can be blocked off. And therefore he can't pass urine. That's when he goes to the doctor. When the doctor does a rectal examination, he can feel that gland because the rectum is so close to it. So he can feel that gland if it's enlarged. And the way they treated long ago, they used to, when I was nursing long ago, it was a major operation. They used to put in whatever instrument it was, and that instrument was like a file. It would file away the gland, and that gland is terribly vascular. So we had an awful lot of problems with men bleeding from this operation. It was really major because we didn't want any clot formation, because we had to keep the urethra free of clots. Anyway, now what they do is, I don't know what they do, they put in some sort of, I think they put in, I think they put something in there that is chemical or a drug or whatever they use. It's a while since I was in with nursing. Anyway, I don't want to know. I want to know how to solve the problem. Anyway, so it's done through chemicals. And then they keep an eye on it again to make sure. And this eye is kept on it so that if it grows again, it can be another problem, and that problem can lead into the rest of the body, because our hormones are not just related to our reproductive system, it also is related to every part of our body, our bones, skin, and our heart and our brain. It's the cholesterol. It's very, very important. So the Chi harmonizing cream, it is a wild yam, and it is a cholesterol. It's a fat. And what that does is it brings up the progesterone level in both men and women. So when the progesterone level comes up, and when we have a nice, clean environment, toxic-free environment, we shouldn't have this problem. This will go away. So that's one way of looking after the prostate gland. And a lot of people, a lot of medics say, as you get older, with a woman or a man, as you get older. No, it's not as you get older. Young men are presenting with problems now that was once considered to be older men. So it's got nothing to do with age. It's got everything to do with our environment and our health and the way the choices we make. So just make wise choices. And of course, we have a company, and how easy is it? You don't have to, all you have to do is replace what you have in your home with our products, and Bob's your uncle, no problem. But anyway, that is the prostate. Now, the other thing that a man can suffer from is erectile dysfunction. And erectile dysfunction is also caused by hormones. So when the hormones are balanced, when a man needs an erection, then he has an emotion behind it. This is not something that you do, that a man does just because. It's all emotion. We are all emotional beings. And when they take the emotion away from us as humans, they dehumanize us. And then what they do is they give the man Viagra. The Viagra is a tablet. What it does is creates the erection without the need for emotion. So then the man is going around. I often think it's like a man going around with a carrot. You know, he's wondering where is he going to go with this carrot, because he has to wait. Because when the erection when they take the Viagra and the erection comes, but I think they have a certain length of time before it wears off. Anyway, so that's so important. We need our harmonizing cream, not just for the physical use of the body, also for the emotions behind what we do. And when we have the right emotions behind what we do, then women will be happy and the men will be happy, and we will live our lives in balance with each other. A lot of men are what would be the word? Wouldn't be assertive, I think would be the word. So if a man is, and a woman is more passive. So if a man is not functioning, if he hasn't got his hormones right, his mental and emotional health will be more and more aggressive. So men want this, that men don't want to be aggressive. They want to be happy and healthy like anybody else. So this harmonizing cream is a godsend for both men and women. So that's so important to bring men's health into the light, to talk about everything and to solve the problems. It's very simple.